We start with a brief biography of Immanuel Kant. He was born on April 22, 1724, Königsberg, German and Prussian name of the medieval city that is now Kaliningrad in Russia. He breathed his last February 12, 1804, Königsberg. As a boy, Kant was sent to a pietist school for his early education. At 16, he enrolled in the University of Königsberg known as the Albertina, where he became interested in philosophy. He graduated 6 years later and worked as a private tutor for several years. At the age of 31, he obtained an unsalaried position as a Privatdozent, lecturer, at the university. He taught philosophy. Kant published several significant essays during the first decades of his career at the Albertina. As an academic at the Albertina, Kant led a life of strict self-discipline. It is said that his routine was so rigid that his neighbors would set their clocks by the time of his afternoon walks. Kant published his first major work, The Critique of Pure Reason, in 1781, at the age of 57. Other works include Of the Metaphysics of Morals, 1785, The Critique of Practical Reason, 1788, Critique of the Power of Judgment, 1790. Kant's general messages. He called on people to think for themselves. He confidently called on people to stop allowing themselves to be treated like dumb animals by politicians and the church. Kant wanted world peace ensured by treaties between nations. His motto was "Make laws, not war." That made Kant a pioneer of modern international law. If it were up to him, there wouldn't even be standing armies to threaten other countries. In addition, Kant set ethical norms for us all, including in everyday life. He demanded that no one should be used as a means to an end, that no one should be instrumentalized. This idea has become famous as the categorical imperative. He urged people to act only in accordance with that maxim, through which you can at the same time will that it become a universal law. If you like what you are seeing, please share and subscribe to interesting channel. Now we shift our focus to Critique of Pure Reason, which is regarded as a milestone in philosophical thought. A little jargon. Epistemology is the branch of philosophy that examines the nature, origin, and limits of knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is knowing facts such as Paris is the capital of France, knowing who your friends are, what to do if there is a fire, a practical skill like carpentry. Knowledge of facts, also called propositional knowledge, is often characterized as true belief that is distinct from opinion or guesswork by virtue of justification. Empiricism is a theory that states that knowledge comes only or primarily from sensory experience. It emphasizes the role of empirical evidence in the formation of ideas, rather than innate ideas or traditions. It was associated with the blank slate concept, tabula rasa, according to which the human mind is blank at birth and develops its thoughts only through experience. Rationalism is a take on how we gain knowledge. It regards reason as the chief source and test of knowledge, or any view appealing to reason as a source of knowledge or justification. Rationalism may be defined as a methodology or a theory in which the criterion of the truth is not sensory but intellectual and deductive. Kant took the middle way. He said there are some parts that are hardwired into human beings. Human mind is not blank at birth. It inherits the concepts of space, time, and causality to boot. We use rationalism to organize sense impressions into concepts. These are a priori. Kant believed that the world we see is actually the way it is. When we see a house, we have access only to sense impressions, that is, inputs from the eyes. Whether the object we see is actually the way it in fact is, we don't know. Kant said we can be sure there is an object creating the sense impressions, but the impressions may not correspond to the way the object is. The way we are aware of the house or hill, Kant said, is the phenomenal world. The way the object in reality cannot be known, as we have no direct access to it. He referred to it as the Ding and Sich, in the noumenal world. He believed in free will, God, and the immortality of the soul. These things cannot be seen, but reflecting on them can form the basis for morality. Kant's primary aim is to determine the limits and scope of pure reason. That is, he wants to know what reason alone can determine without the help of the senses or any other faculties. Metaphysics deals with all of reality and objects in it. Other things it deals with are soul, cosmos, and reality of God. Kant doubted the claims of metaphysics based on pure reason. A priori knowledge and analytic statements. A priori knowledge is what you inherit, such as space, time. He refers to analytic and synthetic judgments, which some would loosely be called propositions, judgments. Judgments express relation between concepts. A proposition like all bachelors are unmarried men is analytic because the predicate unmarried men is contained in the subject all bachelors. A posteriori knowledge and synthetic judgments. A posteriori knowledge is the particular knowledge we gain from experience. Typically, we associate a posteriori knowledge with synthetic judgments. A statement like all swans are white is synthetic because whiteness is not a part of the concept of swan. The truth comes about by observing and seeing the swans. In a synthetic judgment, the predicate concept contains information not contained in the subject concept, and so a synthetic judgment is informative rather than just definitional, in contrast to analytic. Kant on mathematics. Kant's thinking is influenced by the observation that a triangle drawn for the purposes of performing the auxiliary constructive steps necessary for any geometric proof, it is a priori, whether the triangle is produced on paper or only in the imagination. This is because in neither case does the object displayed borrow its pattern from any experience. Kant holds that this is also true for math operations like addition. He says intuitions are the source of mathematics, our number sense comes from our intuition of successive moments in time, and geometry comes from our intuition of space. Kant on science. The principle of causality is the cornerstone of science, as pointed out before, and is a priori. We view the natural world through space-time causality goggles. Kant geometry is proud of being able to produce so much, with so little taken from elsewhere. In contrast with that, one might say of metaphysics, it stands astonished that with so much offered to it by pure mathematics, it can achieve so little. General. All genuine natural science requires a pure a priori part, on which the apodictic certainty sought by reason can be grounded. 2. Only that which could structure experience according to synthetic a priori principles in a mathematical form, i.e. mathematical physics, deserved the name of natural science. 3. Kant regards mathematics and physics as two theoretical forms of cognition by reason, which must determine their objects in an a priori manner. Kant emphasizes that, since the earliest times, mathematics followed the right way of science due to the efforts of the laudable ancient Greeks. 4. Physics is systematic investigation of nature through empirically given forces of matter insofar as they are connected to each other in a system. Some of his views on physics proper. The action of universals. 1. Weight. Attraction exercised by all matter directly on all matter, and at all distances, is called gravitation, the endeavor to move in the dominant gravitational direction is weight. 2. Friction. The resistance to the rearrangement of portions of matter is friction. The resistance to the separation of portions of matter that are in contact is cohesion. 3. Fluid. A portion of matter is fluid if any moving force, however small, is sufficient to rearrange its parts. b. Fluid portions of matter can be defined as those in which the forces exerted by or acting upon each point are the same in every direction.